Hi everybody, it's FC.Liverpool. Everything's about Liverpool Football Club. Everything you want to know, everything you want to hear. You know, there be obviously controversies, but there'll be some positive stuff as well. Very optimistic. Guest on tonight, I really have. This fella, it really is. I was watching it today. Absolutely amazing fella. And his name is Jamie Phillips. But just before I bring Jamie on, I just want to thank everybody who showed up for Marios Manzos book signing about Jurgen Klopp, the special one at Waterstones. Absolutely brilliant. It was a great thing. Even George Sefton, he came along. And it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. All the people there. This is what I mean about supporters of Liverpool Football Club. They came along, they enjoyed what I said, and obviously what Matt said as well. And it was great. Then there was questions and answers, audience. And one fella came on, he took the mic, and he gave a speech. He never asked a question, just gave a speech. But it was funny, it was good. And that fella came from out of town as well. And he was a really nice person. But it was brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring this fella up. Well, and then, mate, a great substitute I've got as well, Tommy Batty. He'll be joining Jamie and I. Absolutely brilliant. And there he is. Here's fella. Listen to this fella. There he is. Jamie, you should be on. Where are you? Jamie, hang on. I can hear you, Jamie, but I can't see it on the big screen. I can see it on the little screen. I can't see it on the big screen. Can you? There okay, there Jamie. Get on to Jason right away because you're the man, you see. You're the man. I'll just get hold of Jay. There you are. No problem.
Yeah, Frank,
Jamie,
you're lagging, Jamie, man. Your video's lagging, and he's gone. And Frank's gone just like that.
He froze.
He froze and he lagged, and he went out of his own show. Hopefully he'll be back in a minute. Hopefully he'll be back in a minute. We'll take.
Anyway, nice to see you, Jamie. Anyway, mate.
And you, Tommy, how are you, man?
All right, pal.
Good. Hopefully Frank will be back in a minute.
He'll be back. He'll be having a cup of tea.
Yeah, that's it. He just he froze it on purpose. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, I'm sure Frank will be back in a minute, guys. He's just I think his internet crashed or something like that. But Tommy, you doing well, though, man?
Yeah, mate. How do you think we'll do tomorrow, mate?
I think we'll be all right tomorrow. I'm always confident at home, to be fair. Any home game, whoever we play, I'm pretty confident with. Bournemouth, was it 9-0 last year? I think it was the 27th of August. I don't expect anything like that. I just want 3 points, Tommy. That's what I want.
3 points. Exactly right, mate. Exactly. 3 points will do.
Yeah, exactly.
I just hope we play well.
Look, now I look back on it, the point against Chelsea away from home is not a bad result at the end of the day.
It was a hell of a result. Hell of a result away from home.
Yeah, exactly. You draw against your nearest rivals. All right.
The first 20 minutes, I thought we were going to hammer them.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I think if Salah's goal counted, I think we might have gone and score another 2.
Yeah.
We were so on top, weren't we, for that first 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And then Chelsea worked out we haven't got a midfield, and then it went all a bit wrong, man.
And we've known that for months.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been a heck of a saga, ain't it, of all this Casado.
I'm interested to see this lad who signed this Hendo.
Yeah, man.
all reports apparently he's he's a busy lad. Like he gets stuck in. His nickname's the Hoover. He sweeps everything up.
Sweeps it all up, man. Sweeps it all up. I think he's going to be a good player for us. Look, I think we need more, obviously. But I actually think this guy's going to be good. I listened to Jurgen Klopp's press conference this afternoon. He's very enthused by him. He's been wanting him for years. It's just they've never been able to go and get him. He likes him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to trust the manager. So if he likes him,
I trust Klopp.
Oh, here he is.
Klopp and everything.
Here he is.
Oh, he's back.
Sorry about it's my end. It's my end, Jamie. I'm sorry. It's my end.
Did you put 50p
having a chat there? Sorry about this.
Did you put 50p back in the meter, Frank? Is that it?
But anyway, all your boys are on here. All your boys are on here, which is absolutely fantastic. Boys and girls and whatever, they're all on. Thanks, Jamie. You're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And listen to this one. When I went missing, and it's Darren. I hope he just says it. He couldn't find the tea bags. Look, everything's going wrong. Everything's going wrong. I don't know what it is, boys. Honestly, I'm sorry. I don't know.
As long as we can hear you, it's all right,
I don't know what it is.
I
don't know what it is on my. I think it's the atmospheric stuff.
Oh, is it?
That's
you
what I
can't hear me, can you?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
We can hear you, man. We can hear you. We can hear you, Frank. Don't worry about it.
It's all the traffic up Boxall Road.
No, it is.
Built it up, blocking it all out.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yeah, we
can hear you. Yeah,
I can't hear you.
Oh, he's got that again.
He's got to go and do that dial again to get the get the amps in the wheel.
I tell you who I'd love to sign. It's that Amrabat. I remember him playing for Morocco in the World Cup. He was excellent.
Yeah. He's quite. People I talk to, a lot of people are for him, and a lot of people don't really rate him. He's one of them. I think that. I like him. When I watched him in the World Cup, Florentina in a few games. I watched the Cup European final with him and West Ham. He was the best player on the pitch in that game. And if he's only available for like 27 million, is it?
Just go and get it because we need somebody like it.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's a decent player myself. Obviously, a lot of the talk about Decore right now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here he is.
You all right now?
Listen, what I might have to do, I might have to reboot me bloody thing.
All right, then.
Reboot.
I'll just
reboot.
I'll just have a pint of Guinness while I wait.
Jamie, it'll only be for 5 minutes, honestly. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, mate, go ahead.
Go and reboot the thing, man. Do your thing.
Go ahead.
It'll only be for 5 minutes, Jamie. Stay with us, please. Okay.
No way. Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. Don't worry about it. Go and do your thing, Frank.
He's froze again.
Yeah, I think he's going to try and reboot his system. There we go. I think he's going to try and reboot his system. Basically, just turn the internet off and on and off. That's what I do sometimes. It works a bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amrabat's a good player, man. I think Decore is the one Liverpool are looking at.
Yeah, I think so myself. Yeah.
They're the one they're looking at. It'd be interesting to see who they get, though.
I still think we need a right back, though.
Yeah, I think we do as well.
I know. Let Trent be free in the middle like he was towards the end of last season. He was brilliant. On Sunday, he didn't know where he was. He was left, right, middle. We didn't know where he was playing. But once we get a right back, I think that's his position. Like in the middle of the park, anywhere where the ball is.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, I look at. I think Klopp's a bit. I don't know what Klopp wants to do yet with Trent. I think he knows Trent is probably going to be a midfielder in the future, like later on in his career. But he also, if he plays his style and he gets the players in he wants, I think he feels like Trent can be the old Trent when we won everything and be marauding down that area of the pitch. So I think Klopp's a bit 50-50 on everything at the moment. But by all what we're hearing at the moment, it don't sound like we're in for a right back at all.
No, it doesn't. But they go on about Trent's defensive capabilities. I always go, no, you don't think the things he can't do. The things he can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's unbelievable when he's on the ball.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, definitely. It's the best going forward, man. I've always said it.
Yeah.
I've always said it. Trent will win you more games than he will lose you games.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
If you go on that, and Klopp knows that. Klopp's not a silly man. He knows Trent's not the best defensively, but it's what he gives. It's what he gives in going forward, and you can't. You've got to have that in your team. You have to make a place for him in your team.
Oh, yeah.
Of that.
So,
so he plays right back,
totally
and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't think Trent. Personally, I don't think Trent is a defender. I don't think he ever has been. In the youth team, he was a midfielder. So but Klopp saw his talent and said, I've got to have that in my team. And he sort of just found a position for him that works. And the last couple of years,
you'd have him in your team rather than not, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you'd rather have him in your team than not.
Oh yeah, exactly. But it's like the last couple of years, Trent's been found out a little bit. That's all. But I think that's to do with the whole team, though. Henderson and Fabinho were getting older. Milner was getting older. Wijnaldum left the football club, who I think now shows how important he was to that midfield. And when you lose these players, and some players getting weaker and older, it shows in the whole setup and the way we want to play. So Trent can't do what Trent wanted to. You notice that recently in the last year or so that Trent stayed back more in a right back position than he used to get going forward, and hopefully he can get back to his normal ways. Frank, I thought you were rebooting your system. You're going through chats.
But I don't know what you think, Jamie, but I think Andy Robbo is. I think he's lost a bit of the way he used to be. Because we were getting murdered up that left side on Sunday. Murdered.
Yeah, definitely. Look, with Robbo, we all know what Robbo's game is. It's complete high energy. High energy. And, he's getting older. He's going to be 30 coming into this season.
Yeah.
And you can't play like that continuously your whole career.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to adapt your game a little bit. Look, Mo Salah, you look at Mo Salah when he first came to Liverpool and look at him now, he's completely adapted his game to keep his longevity going into his career. Mo can play to his 36 probably. Robbo's got.
He's unbelievable. And he never gets injured.
No,
which is unbelievable for the position he plays.
Yeah, and the man's in peak condition, though. He looks after himself, and that's the thing. And because of his religion, he doesn't drink and stuff. He eats clean, and he looks after himself. You put in the work. You stay fit.
Exactly.
That's why sometimes I always question players when they keep getting injured. Sometimes I'm what are you doing? What is your setup? What are you looking after your body well enough? Are you rehabbing properly? Because these little niggles and injuries all the time. Yes, it can be down to sometimes it's just bad luck and your body's just designed that way and it can't be helped. And then sometimes I think some players can be a bit like, are they doing enough to look after themselves? And I do worry sometimes because if you look at all the best players in the world and some of the greatest players of all time, they've always had good injury records.
Yes.
Because they look after their bodies. You look over the last generation, Messi's, Ronaldo's, hardly ever miss a game. Zidane, Ronaldinho's, all these kind of players. They looked after themselves and even going back even further. It's always been the same way.
It proves how you look after yourself with James Milner. He's still in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Still doing a job. He's unbelievable. He is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he'd had his time with us. He'd done us proud. But to still be playing in the Premiership, with most of the players he played with have all retired.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he's just one of them freaks, ain't he? That he's just in great physical condition. That's all you need to be. He looks after himself. Himself, and that's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it. But this new guy, Endo, I've been reading a lot about him. I don't know about yourself, Tommy, but I've been looking up the last couple of days and watching some bits of him. I think he's exactly what Liverpool need right now.
Oh yes, yeah, totally agree.
I think he's
He's just a bundle of energy, isn't he?
Yeah, we don't need that fancy technical defensive midfielder.
No.
We just need a defensive midfielder that can get stuck in, that is good defensively, has got a great engine on him, got great stamina, he's quick as well. He ain't slow, this kid. And that's what Liverpool need right now, because we've got the fancy players in front of him in McAllister, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Arvieri, all these players, and then the front line. So you just need that machine in behind them. No, I think he's going to be perfect for us, Tommy. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you.
There he
is.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, you're all right. You're all right. We held the fault down.
Not your fault, mate.
Oh, Jesus.
Nope.
Yeah, he's gone again.
I'm man. He thinks Tommy's me.
You need to put an internet cable in your computer.
But anyway, James, thank you so much. Thanks, Tommy, for that's just nuts. I might have to if it goes off on me, you just carry on. You two lads, just carry on.
Well, we can hear you, Frank. So
well, while you're here,
getting off here, fortunately.
While you're here, you might as well join in.
This is an absolute.
Well, all the comments are coming up.
Yeah, the systems, the system's all right, Frank. It's probably just your internet's going down a little bit at the moment. It'll probably be all right in a minute. Oh, he's gone again.
What did you think? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Irish kid who come on. What's the young, the Salah? But I couldn't understand them taking Moa. I just couldn't understand that.
Yeah, it was a
Ben
weird
Doak.
one.
Yeah,
look, I do like Ben Doak, but it was a weird one. When I was watching it and thinking we've got 15 minutes to go, but I sort of understood it as well, because Mo sort of went out the game in the second half a little bit, didn't he? He weren't involved as much. The first half, he looked like world-class Mo Salah. Second half, but it weren't, to be fair though, it just weren't Mo. The whole team that second half weren't performing. So,
but the thing is, while he's on the pitch, he's the one who will score a goal.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying.
He could be out the game for 60 minutes.
And
he'll just come up, he'll end up scoring.
And he'll get the winner. That's what they used to say in it back in the day. Never take your goal scorer off. Because they could go 90 minutes and then they score a 91st minute winner. That's
exactly. And we used to do that regularly years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Here he is.
Are you there, Tyler?
I'm awfully sorry about that. I just don't know what's happening. I think it's because of the heavy rain here.
You got a bit of rain.
Heavy rain? Oh.
Yeah, it's heavy rain here.
Get over the back, that's lovely here.
Anyway, I'm just brushed, and I've got Keith on as well here. I'm adding him to the stream. I can't even add him. It's just nuts. Close of the game. Fucking that's.
Have you saved everything up, Frank, and started again?
Oh, there we go. There's Keith anyway. All right, Keith.
There's Keith. All right, Keith.
You're all right, mate. Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. I think,
Frank's having problems.
Yeah.
I just thought of Grado. Boss that.
Boss that, yeah.
Hopefully the internet will be all right for Frank in a minute. But are you Keith? You doing all right, mate?
Not too bad, yeah. But bit more relaxed now. We've signed someone.
Yeah.
And look, I know there's been a bit of negativity about it, but give the lad a chance. His stats read for themselves or speak for themselves.
Definitely.
I know it's a bit of a jump up, different league, and what have you, but he's captain. I always look at it, if he's captain of his team and captain of his country, he's got to be a decent player if the a certain standard in certain league and that. So give him a chance. But did you see, Jamie, and on that Lavia came out with the 3 reasons why he joined Chelsea?
Yeah.
And he turned around and said the project, the ambition, and the history. That goes to show how old he is.
Yeah,
that goes to show how old he is, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Look, to be fair to Chelsea, the last 20 years they have been really successful trophy-wise. So, and he's 19, so I get that. Yeah. But to come out of history when Liverpool ain't long, at least the last few years, Liverpool ain't only won the Champions League and Premier League not too long back, and have been the only team really competing with Man City in the last few years. It's a bit of a bullshit statement. Just say what you went there for. Just say what you went there for the cash. We all know, and we don't care.
Exactly.
And a 7-year contract. 7-year contract. It's nothing to do with project or anything that crap. It's the fact that I've been given a 7-year contract, quadrupled his wages from Southampton, or more than quadrupled his wages from Southampton. It's the biggest load of crap I've heard. And then the fact that Chelsea can start signing all these players because they're not in Europe. Where's that come from?
Oh look, I think in a few years' time, Chelsea are going to be in a bit of trouble myself.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, but the thing is with Chelsea, if they're in trouble, Man City are going to be in trouble. Everton are going to be in trouble, and there's no way they're going to mess with Man City. No way.
No, I think the thing is though with Chelsea and Man City in particular is when Guardiola leaves, when the owners eventually leave. And then Chelsea, they haven't got the fan base. Neither club has got the worldwide fan base that the likes of ourselves and Man United have got. So they'll never ever be as big as us.
Even Arsenal to that extent. Arsenal got a big fan base as well. They're the 3 biggest teams in England by quite some way. And you are right. I think Chelsea will. See, the thing is, I've had this talk on my show plenty of times about FFP and all that. It's such a nonsense, but you can guarantee if Liverpool decided to break FFP rules one day, we'd be the team that get done. because we're such a big team. We're a good team to put that on. Oh, we done Liverpool for that, so everyone beware. You just know it'll happen because look, the fines they get are less than the transfers they spend. What's the point of it? There's no point unless you go do something serious like.
A lot of jealousy there too, I think. A lot of jealousy.
Sports washers, and I don't care about players going that will get paid either. Like Lavia, I said, if he wants to go and get paid, man.
Yeah.
If you want to sit for the 7 years on the bench at Chelsea and get paid, do it because you don't really get a pension at the end of being a footballer. It's a small career. Go and get your money.
That's totally agree.
Just don't lie to us because we all know.
Yes.
We all know. We don't care either. We don't care.
He's trying to straight off. He's trying to bring the Chelsea fans on his side straight away, isn't he? But I can't wait. Honestly, can't wait for them to come to Anfield.
I was just going to say that.
and I can't wait to see the 4th official put the boards up with his and Caicedo's number on to bring them off.
I can't wait for Edu.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, brilliant.
I can't wait for Edu to 2-foot one of them. That'll be a. What's your feelings on the transfer anyway, my man? On Endu, whatever his name.
I think you've got to look past the age thing because Millie done an amazing job. Gary McAllister changed us for 2 years, so you've got to look away from that. Players are a lot more fitter nowadays. They look after themselves a lot more. So you've even back in, I don't know how old you are. How old are you guys? So
I'm 67.
How old are you, Jamie?
42.
42. So you'll remember, good, decent times for us as a club, and players like of Jockey, and players like that played until a good age, even during those days as well. So the fitter, the eat healthier, and all this now. So I just think, his stats speak for themselves. Give him a chance, and I think he'll do okay. I think he'll do.
But when you look at him, I've only seen little bits of him. He's a busy player, and he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
And that's what we need right now in the middle of the park.
Oh, definitely. You only got to listen to Klopp, what he says about him in his press conference today. As Klopp said, I'm German. I watch the German football. I know a lot about him. He really rates him, and he's been wanting him for a while. The problem is that Liverpool had Fabinho, and they didn't need him back then. And now Klopp rates him. If Klopp rates him, that's good enough for me, in my opinion. I watched him the last couple of days. I'll admit, when I first heard we was in for him from absolutely nowhere, I was like, what? Who? Like that sort of thing, because we went from Casado and Lavia bids, and then we went like, well, what's this? So I think I can understand everyone being a bit down in the dumps about it, but then when you go and actually look at this guy play, and then you listen to everyone in Germany actually glow about him, talk about him, how good he is, and you listen to these pundits and reporters and stuff like that, and you're like, and you go and what? I've watched him in the last couple of days, gone back and watched like 4 games of him playing. I actually went back in the World Cup, watched him play. He's a pretty decent footballer, to be fair.
Yeah.
And he gets stuck in. I said this to Tommy Elliott, he's perfect for Liverpool at this moment in time. He's what Klopp wants.
Absolutely.
No nonsense defensive midfielder. That's what he wants.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And the good thing about it as well is the money that we spent, if we'd have got Caicedo or Lavia, that would have been the last player, the only player we'd have brought in for the summer. Yeah. Now we can go and get Amrabat and a centre-half. There's a lad from Bayer Leverkusen that we've been linked with. We can go and get them 2 now. If we go and get Amrabat and the centre-half from Leverkusen, that for me then would represent quite a decent summer spend and give me more hope that for this season, top 4, push for the league and a cup, that'll do me.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Totally agree with that. I think we've dodged the bullet with them 2, though, don't you? I think we've dodged the bullet with Caicedo and Lavia.
They're mercenaries. Especially Caicedo. He basically said his dream was Arsenal in January.
But he supported Man United and then Real Madrid.
He said, like, literally in Arsenal, I want to leave for Arsenal in January. He had that fight with Brighton. He took a little bit of strike. I believe he missed one of their games because he wanted to go to Arsenal, didn't they? And he said, and he really wanted to go. And then they signed him to a new deal. And then Chelsea got involved. And he's been talking to Chelsea since May. And then Liverpool got involved. And he had his turned for a little bit. Then I think if it weren't for Casado's agents, Casado would actually be at Liverpool now.
Yeah, totally agree.
Agents.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say when you were saying there about he come out and said he's been a Chelsea supporter since he was a kid. But then earlier on in the year, he said that he was a Real Madrid supporter since a kid. So.
And he said his hero was Makelele, but he was only 4 when Makelele left Chelsea. So it makes no look. I think Casado's got plans of being at the biggest clubs in the world in his career. That's what his plans are. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think Chelsea are a stepping stone.
Yeah.
I think he's going big club at a time, and I think Liverpool would have been a stepping stone. I think his main goal, I think he's actually said his main goal is Real Madrid. That's where he wants to go. So He's going to use these big teams as stepping stones to get to the main goal of his. Look, that's what he wants to do. Go for it, man. You've got one career.
Yeah. I don't knock him for that.
But I don't want players like that. I don't want players like that.
You don't need them.
It's Liverpool or nothing. That's how I am as a fan. It's Liverpool or nothing.
But what makes me think, I mean, you guys might remember Bill Shankly, right? But if Shankly wanted the player, he'd go and speak to the player. And 99.9% he'd sign for Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about Jurgen Klopp. I don't think he spoke to them 2 players. Because if Jurgen Klopp had spoke to Caicedo or Lavia, they would have signed for Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't know if Klopp particularly wanted Caicedo as much as people might think he did. Because when you go back and look at his press conference last week now, when he spoke about Caicedo, and you see, and when we made the attempt to buy him, and he was talking about it, he weren't as happy as he is now talking about Endo. Like today, he's buzzing. He's like off his nut. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he completely wanted him. Like that might be a bit of like. Obviously, you gotta get some fans to go, no, that's bull crap. Why wouldn't you want Casado? Because you know, people have their agendas and that. But I don't know. I don't think Klopp works like that, like a lot of other.
No, he doesn't. Do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
You know, like, go on.
He seemed surprised, didn't he? He seemed utterly surprised that we put that bid in for him, as if to say, "Well, I didn't see that coming, and I didn't ask him to get him."
But you know what I think on that? I mean, you mightn't agree with me. I think FSG as a ploy, they put that number up front under 11 million. And myself personally, I think it was just a load of nonsense. They have no intentions of paying it. Knowing Chelsea are coming in with a higher offer, and he wants Chelsea.
I mean, it would have shot me in the foot if Casado accepted it, though.
They would have been a hell of a bang.
Hang on. How do we get this back? You might be right. Look, you might be right, but
I just thought it was a ploy.
The problem with that, though, with what if they have done it like that, the problem is now everyone in the world knows Liverpool got money. If it was a ploy, because they've shot themselves in the foot, not getting him, has sort of made it worse. Because now we're sitting there as fans going, "Oh, hang on, you got 110 million to spend, so we'll have this, we'll have that. We got a shopping list." I know a lot of Liverpool fans, especially Liverpool fans online, that go, "Right, I've got my shopping list who we should go and buy now." And if you don't go and buy them players, then I don't know what's happened to my football club, sort of thing.
That's right. Absolutely, yeah.
What's going on? Because you're not buying a player. If you don't buy a player that a fan rates, then it's like, oh, the club don't know what they're doing. It's like Fofana talking to Nottingham Forest, and a lot of people are going, "Why aren't we after Fofana? Why have we got this Endo guy with Fofana from Monaco's about that we can get him for 35 million?" And I said it the other day. I said it yesterday on Twitter. I went, maybe Klopp don't rate him. Have you ever thought of that? I mean, it's as simple as that. Maybe Klopp just don't rate him.
Yeah, totally agree. It's there's lots of players out there, but they've got to not only. And the thing is with Klopp, they've got to fit into Liverpool's philosophy and strategy and everything else. They've got. I mean, the one thing that I'll tell you something now as well. I don't know if you know, both know, but my background was I played football myself. I was the former Liverpool players events manager at Liverpool Echo, and I've got contacts within obviously the Liverpool Echo, the former reporters, and then also some of the couple of backroom staff in the club. And so the philosophy of Liverpool is, certain things. Now, Nunes, one of the things that he had to come back this pre-season, his English had to improve, because Klopp, when he does like any team talk, whether that's on the training ground, pre-game, post-match, whatever it is, he speaks in English, and he says to them, "You don't understand." I know that they were interpreting within some of the meetings to that, but Nunes had to come back and start. He's got to learn the English. He's got to learn, because that's the way that they communicate. Apparently, his English is much better, more understanding rather than speaking. But but the Endo now, he apparently his English is absolutely brilliant.
I heard Darwin a little bit in pre-season when he was talking to some of the players, and he was talking in English. So, he does, and Darwin doesn't have to be beautifully fluent in English. He just needs to know. He just needs to, because Klopp can't get to him what he wants, and he can't get through to him what he wants. So they can just speak. And that's why Cody Gakpo settled down really quickly, because he's fluent in English. So Klopp could just go, "I want you to do this, and that," and Cody got it easy. With Darwin, it's a lot more difficult. But Endo, have you heard him? He speaks fluent English.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Whereas the likes of Kone, Thuram, there's some of the players that he mentioned, and one of them was the lad from Fluminense, Andre. Don't speak English. So again, you're bringing in a player to play in a particular position, and a tough position. You're trying to communicate with him or trying to put your view across. And I honestly think that by maybe going to get Amrabat, who can speak English, to try and go and get those type of players to bring in, then not paying all that money for the likes of Lavia and Caicedo, that next season, then look at the likes of Thuram or Kone, or when Thiago leaves, you know, build it up that way.
Yeah. Totally agree with that. Totally agree.
I think Frank's put a message in the chat. Let me just have a look. What did he say here? He says, sorry, lads, I'll have to leave you to it as I can't come on, but I might be. Yeah, Frank, go on your phone, mate, because the only problem is, Frank, none of us can end the stream. So when he's ending,
we could be here till tomorrow.
Frank, if you're listening, man, obviously you are. Go on your phone, log in on your phone, and going through your phone, and it'd be better that way. You don't have to worry about all the background and all that. Just go on your phone, mate, and then it'd be easier for you, because if you're having internet issues, just go through your phone, fella. It'd be a lot easier. People in the chat, unfortunately we can't get your chats up, but if we see anything, we'll read it out. I saw someone say earlier, this is Jamie's second channel. It's not. But no, look, I'll cover for Frank while he's away on that. It's all good. Don't worry about that. But Endo, look, I think he's going to be everything Liverpool need. But I do think we still need midfielders, because we got a short supply of midfielders in that area right now. Obviously, Curtis Jones is out with a twisted ankle, but he should be back for next week's game against Newcastle. These little things happen. It's not a problem. Don't know what that was. But did anyone just hear that? Or was it just me?
It's my phone.
Or is it your phone? I think we need
Tommy was opening a can of Guinness.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, didn't it?
I've got it here.
There you go. He's getting his ready already.
I'm waiting for Bassett to get fit. Now, he's only a young kid, and yet before he got injured, he was one of our best players.
Definitely.
Who was that?
We had that bad season. Bassett.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the young lads, Jones was pretty much injured for the whole of the season. Elliott, you know, we had that really, obviously, we know what the injury he had against Leeds. Bajcetic, obviously, then had the abductor injury. What's his name? Tyler Morton has been struggling with injuries for a little while now. So it's weird that it's the younger lads who are actually struggling with the injuries, you know. So I totally agree, Jamie. Yeah, we need another midfielder. Amrabat, I think, would be a great signing.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, keep Thiago. If he goes for free next year, he goes for free. He'll be 33, I think, then. So, you know, I just think, get Amrabat, another centre half.
Thiago is one of our classy players, right? But he's not on the pitch long enough. That's the only thing wrong.
Yeah.
He's class.
Yeah.
But he gets injured too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I love, like we all do. We love Thiago when he plays, but
he's class.
If he's giving you 20 games a season, it's just not enough, is it, for what we need from him? Because he's so talented, and that's the issue Liverpool got. I think they're looking at this Andre lad from Brazil to replace Thiago.
Yeah,
I think they might. The links are quite strong with him, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone Liverpool go and try and get in January. You know, and in that meantime, maybe he can do some English lessons while he's waiting or something like that.
Yeah, good shows.
Yeah, he can start a little bit. Because I think Liverpool are definitely interested in him. They're going down that sort of, in certain areas of the pitch now, they're going down that younger, more techie kind of footballer. But with Indu, I know he's 30, but that's what Liverpool needed in that area of the pitch.
Yeah.
McAllister.
I think Jürgen's trying to leave a legacy, isn't he? Jürgen's trying to leave a legacy of a team what's going to last like maybe 5-8 years after he leaves.
Yeah.
I think he starts on again, personally.
Yeah.
I certainly hope so. I
don't know where Klopp goes. I don't know where.
But he wants the German manager's job. If that doesn't come up, he stays.
Yeah, I think that's. I look at the way Klopp is as a person. I don't think Klopp likes state-owned football clubs. I don't think he believes in it.
Yeah,
I don't think he likes it. So I don't know. And the way Klopp is, he likes to be in a team for a few years to build a team in his image. The problem with some of these other teams, you go to them, if it's not working for a few games, they just get rid of you. and get someone else in.
Yeah.
Like Real Madrid, they don't care. I mean, you can win the league and Champions League double at Real Madrid, and they sack you the following season. It doesn't matter. So I just don't see him at that sort of. I think he'll look at a club. That's why I think Germany might be perfect for him. The national job might be perfect for him because we know he likes his holidays and his time off and stuff, and he can have that break in between and still have a job. And I think that'd be perfect for him. But I don't want him to go personally. I think if we're doing well with new players coming in and we're doing well, and he gets that bite again for it, I wouldn't be surprised he had of a contract extension because he's definitely bringing in the new breed of players through the club. And you know, we're going down that younger route. Will he want to leave that? I mean, managers are selfish, man. They want that. They want that team, and it'd be interesting. But one player I want to talk about, guys, McAllister.
Yes.
Watching him through pre-season, watching him in the Chelsea game, it looks like he's been at Liverpool 2 seasons already. He is sort of like just settled in, Tommy, ain't he? And he's superb. Although, look, he doesn't look South American at all. But but he is a class footballer, ain't he? And he's coming to his side. I think he's going to be superb, Tommy. How about you?
Oh, without it. Oh, totally agree. I mean, that pass to Mo on Sunday. No, inch perfect. I mean, okay, he's a class player. He should be able to do that. But to do it in the game against Chelsea away, and then Mo's ball into Luis Diaz, them 2 passes, they're just unbelievable. No, top draw.
Oh, yeah, definitely. How about you, Keith? How do you feel?
I just, he's obviously playing in the wrong position at the moment. So if he's putting performances in like that as a holding midfielder, imagine what's going to happen when he's further forward with Szoboszlai. I mean, that is going to be, honest to God, I can't wait for that. And you're right, Tommy, that ball that he pulled through for Mo, and by the way, that goal wasn't offside for
no,
2-0.
They went from Mo's hand that you can't score from.
Yeah.
Have you seen the lines drawn? I didn't realise, because when I watched it live, I didn't really see it properly. It's only when I've gone back and looked at the replay after the game, they drew it from Mo's hand. You can't.
Just
crazy.
Baffling. So 2-0 would have changed that game. Honestly, it would have changed.
Yeah.
But McAllister, for me, I just thought, I sat back and thought, oh my God, now I can see why all the Brighton fans were raving about him. 24 by age, he's only 24, he's got so much ahead of him. And
World Cup winner.
What's that, Tommy?
Unbelievable. World Cup winner. Unbelievable.
He's brilliant, honest to God. And I must admit, I was impressed with Fernandes on Sunday. I thought he played well, but that's only because he was up against the midfield that, we basically had 2 midfield, didn't we? Because Gakpo was playing further forward. So
he was playing in the Bobby role type of thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think once we've got that midfield sorted, you'll see them two coming through. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, and
I mean, we got hammered up the left-hand side on Sunday. Hammered.
Yeah. Oh, we did. That was the problem. We had no real midfield protection because as good as McAllister played in that 6, he doesn't really understand the defensive part of following runners in deeper positions. Yeah. And that's not his fault. It's just not his position. He can play there, but following runners is different. You see it for their equaliser where McAllister lets a player run. He doesn't mean it intentionally. He's not being lazy or anything. He just doesn't understand that part of the game because it's not his position. Right. Yeah. And and Liverpool got a bit outdone by the three at the back Chelsea were playing with it, and they were overlapping in the wide areas with 2 wide players, the wing back and the wide forward. And we were getting overexposed in that area because we never had a defensive-minded midfielder. If Endo played in that game, we go back in time, but Endo in that game, we probably win that match because he would follow the runner because he's defensively sound. That he knows that role, and that's the difference. That one position in football today is arguably the most important position in football right now. This number 6 role,
absolutely, totally agree.
Because if you look at the best teams in the world, they've all got them.
Can I ask you both a question? And
go for it.
What I was harping on about last year, and I kept saying, I wanted us to play a back five, right? I wanted us to play Canate and Van Dijk. I wanted Matip as sweeper in the middle of those three. So you could play Trent and Robbo. So there is cover, you know what I mean? Like how Chelsea played on Sunday. I don't know if you've ever both thought that was like a solution for last season, but going forward, I honestly do think that if we're going to go and buy, and I can't pronounce it, it's Harasio or something like that, the new this lad from Leverkusen, where you could play him, Canarsie and Van Dijk, have Trent and Robert going forward with Endo as the covering midfielder. I think that's a formation that with Szoboszlai and McAllister, it allows you then also to have. I know the reason he doesn't play it is because of how Mo and possibly whoever's on the left, Diaz maybe, because they do go out wide and then drift inside and everything else. I just think that is a formation that would suit us down the ground.
It's exciting. I agree. It's exciting to think about that. Yeah, I've never thought of it, but now you've mentioned it, that to me sounds exciting. Brilliant.
Yeah. It is how I would like to play, because if I look at Trent's probably, if anything, more natural as in a wing back.
Yeah.
Because when you got that third defense, when you play three at the back, natural three at the back with three centre backs. If Trent's that wing back, you can have the centre back that comes across, and if you've got two holding in a pivot in midfield, one can come across and cover that area of the pitch and Trent to get forward. The same side with Robbo. I think midfield and defensively, it makes sense for us to play that formation. But as you say, our forward line is all about our wide areas, ain't it? With Salah, and I think we'd be overexposed in a defensive way if we play that way, maybe under Klopp, especially the system Klopp's got, that high intensity game, and that high press he likes to play. But I think Klopp's even gone on record before and says he doesn't really like three out the back, does he? So I don't think we're ever going to see it, but yeah, I agree. I mean, we've seen it at the moment in the sort of like where Trent goes inverted. But the problem is when Trent goes inverted, Trent's all over the shop because he runs over his defenders. Yeah, he goes from right to left, and you should not do that. And then Robbo,
that's what he was doing on Sunday. He was doing that on Sunday.
Yeah, and Robbo doesn't know what to do in that left centre back position.
Yeah.
Because he wants to go out to the winger, because that's his natural instinct. I'm a left back. I go out to my winger all the
time.
Yeah. And he doesn't, and he can't. He doesn't know if he can do that because he's playing centre back.
Yeah.
So he's so stuck in the middle, and you saw that against Chelsea. He was just stuck in his position. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I do feel for Robbo there. I think Klopp wants to go back personally to his 4-3-3 and have Trent and Robbo as his fullbacks, but he needs that defensive cover. We can't do it without defensive cover because how high we play up. We play that high press. And hopefully that's what we can get back to. But there's another guy I want to talk about, the other new signing, Szoboszlai. This guy's going to be special as well. You can see it already. The man is an athlete first. Also, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was. He's quite a physical man. He's got quite a stature on him, and he's got a great work rate. But also, he's got great ability as well, ain't he, Keith? I mean, that run he did where Jota took the shot off him. That stuff he's got in his locker. That now with a defensive midfielder in the team, he won't have to be so defensive, and he can show more of that off, can't he, Keith?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you take into account it's his first game of the season in a new club, new team, he'll only get better. And the one thing that he will provide, which we've been missing, is set piece. The free kicks and corners. We've missed that because although Trent can do that, the corners for me, we've been so poor on our delivery of corners. I mean, I know he set the corner up for big Origi against Barcelona, but in terms of especially Robbo's side, it's been so poor. But at least now we've got that type of player who can deliver a good ball into the box. It's a threat as well as Trent. I Honestly, I when I watched him, I thought, and I seen him with Klopp at the end, and Klopp had his arm round him. And I thought, oh God, he's actually bigger than what I thought.
Yeah, he's a big lad. Yeah, he's a big lad.
So yeah, definitely great on the ball, good work rate, so much technique. And when Jota took that ball off him, I was
fuming.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, really.
I totally agree about the corners, because go back 2-3 seasons, especially Robbo's side, 90% of the corners didn't beat the first defender.
That's right.
And you're thinking, what are you doing? And every time it happened, every time.
Yeah, and the the other team, no. Every time Robbo takes a free kick, well, I suppose Trent, it's always going to be an outswinger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas obviously, if you look at his videos of his corners, he's quite sort of he's got good nous of how he what's the word, presents them. You know, he can put the in-swinger in. He honestly whips them in. Even pre-season, he showed a couple of times. So yeah, I'm really.
I wouldn't be surprised if he scored from a corner this season.
Yeah.
The way he takes them.
Yeah.
He puts a bit of zip on them.
I expect Virgil will get a few goals and set pieces this season.
Yeah.
Because Szoboszlai takes that. He's got great whip on his corners, you say. Good at free kicks as well. And he's McAllister's got a decent set piece on him as well. And obviously got Trent there. So I want Virgil to start getting some goals. While we're talking about it, before we talk about Virgil, I want to talk about Virgil. This is some breaking news. It's not to do with Liverpool, but West Ham star Lucas Paqueta is apparently being investigated by FA for potential breaching or betting. As his 70 million transfer to Man City collapses.
Wow.
There's some things apparently he betted on himself to get a yellow card, and Lucas Hernandez at Real Betis to get a yellow card, and they both got yellow cards on the same day.
Why did he do this?
So Man City turned down this. I don't know if Man City got wind of it, and that's why they started to not carry on with the transfer. But yeah, it's hitting Twitter at the moment. Wow. Journalists are talking about it and all that. So that's maybe one to keep a watch on. It's just mad.
He just deserves everything you have coming to him, because that's just greed.
It's just silly. I mean, they're super wealthy, and you know, if he's transferred to Man City has collapsed because of that, he's an idiot.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable, isn't it?
So yeah, if Ivan Toney got a big ban, he's going to get the same thing. If it's true, Szoboszlai is saying it's all a nonsense apparently at the moment. So, but yeah, Tony said the same thing, didn't he? So that's we'll have to wait on that. But yeah, Virgil van Dijk, guys.
Yeah,
I thought Virgil looked like old Virgil in that game. With Konate and Virgil, I thought they were both excellent. I can't blame them for anything. You know, if they're not getting protected by any midfield, it don't matter how good you are as a centre back. If you're getting constantly attacked all the time, it's going to be difficult. But Tommy, Virgil, I thought was back at it, man, and he's starting to ooze that bit of class again, ain't he?
Yeah. I mean, you understand the injury he had when he come back. He didn't have the best season, but now I think the armband is helping him too. And you can see he looks like a colossus now in the centre. He looks like the old Virgil again.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he was good in pre-season, Keith, as well. To be fair, I think he looks rested. That's one thing. I'd say, Keith. He looks rested. Yeah,
I think having a good pre-season, having that little bit of a break. I know he was in the Nations League. But he had a little bit of a break. He's had a good pre-season. Giving him the armband has given him that little bit of more extra responsibility. But I always said that when he was being, lauded as the best centre half in the world, I always said to him, but he's also got two of the best centre midfielders protecting the back for him, for being and Hendo at the time. So where we've lost Hendo and Fabinho, and they were off form last season, that exposes your back four, and especially with the high line or the two fullbacks going up so far as well and further forward. So yeah, I thought he had a good game on Sunday, to be honest, in his pre-season.
Yeah.
Fantastic. He's quick, he's quick anyway, but he looked like he was back to his old self with his quickness and his alertness. So him and Carlyle, I think, are the pairing for at least a couple of years to come.
Yeah,
and that gives everybody else confidence when you see him like that. It gives them all confidence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go through the team. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Look, and I remember Palio Maldini once saying that you should never know how good your defenders can defend. That was like a quote he said, because if you got a good midfield in front of you, the defence is going to be better for it. You don't want to let your defender be isolated every 90-minute game. And unfortunately, for Konate and Van Dijk, that happened last season.
Yeah.
And when that's happened continuously, I'm actually surprised we didn't even concede even more goals the way we played last season, especially in that midfield area. So it just shows the level of Konate and Van Dijk, to be perfectly honest, and to play the way we play. We play with such a high line, with such risk in our game, because there's more reward. Klopp sees more reward in that way of playing, and he's been proved right most of the time. Sometimes I'm like, can we just drop the back line a little bit at times? Because it's a bit like, when Van Dijk's next to your position goalkeeper, I'm like, that's a bit much. It's just let's drop it back a little bit. But with a better defensive midfielder in there, Klopp might be right. Better defensive midfielder in there, he can probably play that way.
Absolutely.
But that high line, when you go back to when Mane played, Mane, when you look at it, was one of our best defenders from the front.
Oh, yeah, he was a bully, though. Mane was a bully.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, he defended from the front. Not many balls went past him if he lost it.
Yeah. I think the only thing is, though, Tommy and Jamie, that my concern for especially the high line and the two fullbacks we've got is the ball over the top. That's the concern for me, especially because Trent isn't fast. We've got to be looking. We've seen the Napoli game, like I always sort of mention that whenever it was Frank, and we've seen the Napoli game last year, just nowhere near good enough. And we also know as well the ball into the box. He's not good in the air neither, Trent. He's great going forward. Got loads of technique. We know he's a great player, but his frailties are that he can be outdone with the ball over the top. His speed, and he can't head the ball. He's not good in the air. So that's my concern as regards to that. But I also do think if Bradley can get himself fit and maybe have a little run in the team, that then will allow Trent to go into the midfield.
Good shout. Good shout.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Trent might play in midfield for Europa League games. I think they're saying he might rotate it and Bradley comes in at right back for Europa League games. Things like that, to keep it all fresh. Because I think Klopp is really at. I think I was saying this to Tommy earlier. I think Klopp's at a 50-50 point where to play Trent right now.
Absolutely.
I think because he knows what Trent's talents are. We all do. Going forward as a right back, is hardly anyone better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. People will come up with Reece James, who, by the way, I think is a fabulous footballer himself. But he makes a lot of defensive mistakes that never get questioned.
Yeah.
His defensive mistake was why Diaz scored against them.
Yeah.
It never got brought up once.
Yeah.
Never once.
No.
But if that's Trent, it's because there's an agenda there and it's highlighted more.
Absolutely.
But Trent has got midfield quality. He like we saw him for England. People will go, oh, look at the opposition they played. And I always said he was still the best midfielder on the pitch, though. What about everyone else? When you always stop the agendas, he's actually good in that position. I actually think he defends better in midfield because he's more alert because the game's all around him. I think when he's at right back sometimes, I think he get not lazy or anything like that. I just don't think he's got that defensive switch in his head.
Yeah, and the stamina.
To get back. Yeah, and the stamina, exactly.
Yeah, but that's what Keith just said. Anything over the top of Trent, he hasn't got the speed, and he can. I'm not saying he can't, but it's not his strongest point.
Yeah, I think Robbo's quicker than Trent.
Yeah,
I think Robbo is actually quite quick, and it never gets really spoke about Robbo's pace. But Robbo, you notice the ball over the top never affects Robbo's side of the pitch.
That's right.
It affects Trent because Robbo's got that switch in his head where he knows I've got to step back 5 yards here because that ball over the top could be on.
Yeah.
Trent ain't got that switch in his head where he thinks like that because he's thinking, all right, if I get the ball now, Mo's free. That's what Trent's thinking.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, just get him in midfield. But Klopp's probably looking at him and thinking, if I can get this midfield right, Trent's going to be a weapon for me again at right back. So it's hard to argue with him about it because it's been successful. But he's definitely got a future in midfield. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. I think the disappointing thing as well, Jamie, is the one player that Klopp did bring in as possibly someone that could make cover so Trent could go into midfield, and he covered it right back as Ramsey. He's injured again.
Yeah.
He's out for at least 2 months, and that doesn't bode well, does it? Because he's had quite a few injuries already for such a young lad. You know,
and the position he plays, he's going to get injured again.
Yeah, it's just it's a pity. Do you know what? Can I ask you both a question? Well, 2 questions. We've heard a lot about the Saudis being interested in Alisson and Mo. If they came in with the right source of, so take for instance they offered 100 million for both of them, either so 200 million or 100. Do you think Liverpool would sell?
I think
I'd rather sell Alisson than sell Mo.
I think the club would do it the other way around. I think the club would sell Mo but keep Alisson.
Because we've got a great reserve. We've got a great reserve keeper.
I look at see. I love Mo Salah, absolute bits. But there's no player that winds me up at the same time more than Mo Salah at the same time, and that's probably with all of you. You know, he winds me up saying chronic at times, and then 10 minutes later he scored a hat trick, and I'm like, what was I worried about? He's just that player. But Alisson, man, I don't know a better goalkeeper in world football, and this ain't just a biased point of view. I just don't know what he's grabbed at. I don't know. What's Alisson
I totally agree with that. But I'm so glad that what's his name, the Irish lad. I'm so glad he stayed.
Kelleher. Yeah.
So glad he stayed.
I just look Kelleher for him. He's got to learn. He's got to be training with Alisson every single day. That's better than him going on loan anywhere. He's training with the best goalkeeper in the world. It's a difficult one. I literally think that with Mo's the king of the Arab world, for goodness sake, as a footballer. He's the face of that. If he went, I could understand why Mo would be interested in going to Saudi Arabia. No doubt about it. He will be a king. You think Ronaldo will get peed off because he thinks he's the big thing over there. Once Salah goes there, that's it, man. I've got a feeling, though, if Salah leaves, it'll be to the team that Neymar plays for now, because a Salah-Neymar link-up would be absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And I could see it. I think it will happen. It may be in 2 or 3 years. I think it will eventually happen. With Alisson, I love what Alisson's comments the other day when he was talking about Liverpool, and when he was talking about knocking Chelsea back as well and the reasons why. I'm just like, that's my keeper, man. I love it. And also, I love it. Look, I've got a bit of a crush on Alisson. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm a straight man. I've got a bit of a crush on him. I've never seen a man be able to pull off a beard, clean shaven, and moustache all at the same time. No issue. Different hairstyles. No,
you definitely have got a crush on
it. Can play guitar. He's got a lovely family. He's the best keeper in the world. This man's not bad at anything.
Oh, hey, how's the man?
There he is. There he is.
You're back.
Alisson's body double. Look at that. There he is.
I've been listening to you, It's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for carrying on with the shot. And the comments are absolutely stunning. And as Steve Evans says, FNL, Frank's about.
There he is. He's back. He's back.
It's great. Thank you so much, Jamie, Keith, and Tommy. You kept the show going or the pod going, and it's been absolutely brilliant. The people have
been a good time.
So am I all right now?
Yeah, we let you back in now. Go ahead.
Can I just say something? Sorry about all this. This is right. So all I want to say about Endo is what he came out with today. And what he said was, it's a great honour to play for this great club and the legendary fans.
Yeah.
Think about that. The legendary fans, and that's what we are. I mentioned last night, Jamie and Keith, I mentioned last night during the book sign, and I had to ask questions or give questions to the wonderful Marios Manzos who wrote the book, the social one, and I just said, this is for you. Everything is for you, the Liverpool football fans, the legends, and some of you verify that, what I said. And this lad today came out and said that all the legends, every single one of us, which is powerful stuff to come out with. It's the first player I've ever heard say that.
Well, obviously now, I mean, to come to Liverpool, obviously you've got to want to pay for us. But once the crowd get you, that's you. You don't. No, you're part of the furniture now. The crowd have got to take to you fair, and obviously they will take to him now.
No, Endo's going to be I think he's going to be a fan favourite. I think the club, the fans are going to get right round him. What I do like about Endo, and I was listening to there's this Liverpool Japanese fan. He's a Japanese guy. Sorry, he's a big Liverpool fan. He lives in Japan. He's got his own YouTube channel, but it's mostly about unboxing and anime stuff and all that. But he just did a one-off Liverpool thing on it, and he was talking about Endo and the sort of character he is. It's a really good watch. If anyone can go and find, I'll try and find the channel in a minute, let you know where it is. But it's a really good watch, and he talks about him. And what he talks about, he compares him between him and Taki Minamino. And when he was talking about Taki was a shy lad, found it difficult, and that's just his nature. But apparently, Endo, he's the opposite. He said if Virgil gives him a bad pass, he won't be scared to go, Virgil, that was crap, what you're doing, and just give it to him like that. And I was like, this is exactly what we need, because I've been saying it for a while now. Liverpool need bastards in their team. We're too nice.
Yeah.
We're too nice. I remember watching. I was getting so irate with Fabinho last season because he couldn't even foul anymore, and he used to do that and let people run past him. And I'm like, no, you're the DM, man. Just kick him up the arse or something. We became too nice and easy to play against. I always look at Man City. Man City wind me up so much because Rodri gets away with so many fouls in the midfield. Yeah. He gets away with it all the time. How he never gets sent off in matches, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's an art. It is an art to do that. Casemiro used to do it at Real Madrid. Endo, that's what I went Endo would be. That's making us hard to play again. That's what I want people to come here and go, no, that's not on Anfield. Like Liverpool are different now. They've got that Endo in. McAllister and Szoboszlai, they give it as well. And they've got techie players. Different.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're too easy to play against. And I'm hoping Endo, he's not going to be able to do it on his own. But I hope he can put a little bit of end to that. And the way Klopp's talking about him, Klopp, this is a Klopp transfer. What anyone says, Klopp wanted Endo. He said it himself. He loves the guy. So we need another one, though, guys. I do say we do. I would like to get a younger DM. I said, Frank, I'll say this, right? I said St. Man on my channel. I think you was there, Frank, listening on my channel earlier. So I said, if Palace are willing to let us have Decore, I think Steve Parrish said it's so late in the transfer window. The only way to sell Decore is a ridiculous fee, or we have a replacement lined up for him. So I put this out to my lot, and it didn't go down too well. But I said I'd pay for Decore and loan him Stefan Bajcetic for the season, because it's a bit of a win-win for us. Because we get Decore in, who's going to be an excellent defensive midfielder. You got Endo there already as his deputy, so that's your two. And then Stefan plays a whole Premier League season at Crystal Palace, comes back a year later, fitter, stronger, more experienced because he's going to be playing more. It didn't go too well on my channel, Keith. I don't know about you.
I think it's a good shout. Yeah, I like Decore. Yeah, I think he's a decent player. I think it's a decent shout. But you're saying there about players that you can't stand but the good players. I'll just mention one name: Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Exceptional player.
If there's ever anyone you want to slap, it's Bruno.
You know what? I always think of the Bee Gees when I see him.
Oh no! I
always think he looks like Morris.
Barry.
Who's the one? Who was the one who was always the thin one and the more goosey?
Robin. Yeah. He does.
To be honest, he just reminds me of a Platt. That's all it reminds me of, boys. I know that you've been chatting great and everything else. Now, I want to ask Jamie, because I was listening to him today. And he doesn't. I don't know why he doesn't come on here and rant. You want to hear him rant? He's incredible. I love his rants, and he does rant, by the way. But what I want to ask you, boys, and I'm going to Jamie first. I'm going to Jamie, going to Keith, and I'm going to Tommy. Right, we've got Enzo now, and now we haven't finished. I hope not anyway, bringing another one in. But I know for a fact that a lad's coming in January. I do know that. That's a fact. And the Brazilian lad, by the way. Okay, now here's the thing. Who is your top? Don't forget, I'm going straight to you, Jamie. Who is your top signing for the team? Who's your next signing? Would you like to see?
Who's my next signing? It's interesting because we've only got one homegrown position left, haven't we? So I think that personally, what I would do, I know Adrian decided to do contract, but I'd let him go. I'd let him go to free up a space. Give one of the youth team players, a Davis or something like that, the third goalkeeping position, because the chances of Allison and Kelleher Touchwood get injured at the same time is going to be like, what I mean, Touchwood guys. But I'd probably do that to free up another space. I've said this a while now. I've said it for about a year now, actually, on my channel. I like Ryan Gravenberch. I think I remember him at Ajax. I remember him watching at Ajax. I remember the talk about him at Ajax. He had the same sort of talk that people were talking about Jude Bellingham at the time. That young kid who's a very, very talented footballer. I think the move to Bayern Munich was too early in his career. I think he should have stayed at Ajax for another year or two. A bit like what happened to De Ligt when he left Ajax. I think it was the wrong time for him. It took him a while to bed into Juventus and that. So I would get Ryan Gravenberch as that marauding number 8 who can be moulded into a bit of a more defensive-minded player at the same time. I'd get 2. I'd literally get 2. I would get another 2 midfielders because Curtis Jones, unfortunately, has got the habit of picking up a little injury here and there. And I like Curtis Jones. I think he's an uber talented player. Harvey Elliott, I think he's better in a more advanced position on the pitch. So he's in that sort of purgatory position where you don't know if he's an attacker or a midfielder at the moment. So I'd literally go and get Gravenberch because he's only valued around the 30 million mark. And that would only be £46 million spent on him and Endo. And then I'd go and get Decore from Palace and loan Stefan Bajcetic to Palace for the rest of the year. Because then, in my opinion, we'd have Decore, Gravenberch, Thiago, Endo, Curtis Jones, McAllister and Szoboszlai. I think that is a lovely little mix of midfield quality. You've got techie players, you've got defensive players, you've got offensive players. Stefan gets a year at Palace and another year under his belt. And I think that's the perfect blend. But it's if Liverpool do that, they might just think one more. If it's one more, I do think it might be Ryan Gravenberch, I don't think this... And I think they do get Andre in January to replace Thiago for the following year. But I think there's too much talk about Ryan Gravenberch right now, and they go and get him personally.
Okay, what about you, Keith? Who would you like to see coming in?
I do like Amrabat, I've got to be honest, but I love Barella, as they say.
Yeah.
Barella. I think he's class, absolutely class. So Yeah, I can see Gravenbach as well. I can think, I can see why you say that, Jamie, because he's a decent player. He is a good player. Young lad, just doesn't fit into Bayern's way of, playing. And probably the league as well. But I think an arm round him, bringing him into a club that, with a manager who can, put an arm round him, give him that motivation and that. I can see that. But yeah, Barella for me. And I like Amrabat. So one of those three, I'd like to see come in.
I like Barella, but I just wonder if Barella leaves Italy. I don't know if he's one of them Italian midfielders that just goes from Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, like they do. They go all three. It's a madness. That's the only. But I like Barella. He's a super talented footballer.
Yeah,
super talented.
Yeah.
But is he too similar to Szoboszlai now? That would be my only.
Yeah,
that's
true. Tell you who would do like, but we've no space for him. I can't pronounce his name. It's the lad at Napoli, the left winger.
Oh, Kevin. That's what I call him. I'm a typical Englishman. I just call him Kevin. Give him an English name.
I tell you what, he's some player, isn't he? I'm surprised that the likes of City or Chelsea can go for him, or Saudi Arabia, because I think that lad is class, absolute class.
Can I come in there because you mentioned Barella, right? I love Barella, and Inter is my Italian team, by the way, along with Napoli because of me mum and my grandparents and everybody else coming.
Snap.
And me and Tommy know why Barella won't come, and I can't say it on air. Can we, Tommy?
Oh, okay.
No.
But we'll let you know. We'll definitely let you know.
You got to message me this later now, Frank. You have to message me later now.
I'll message, and you, Keith, obviously. I'll message you.
Yeah.
I need to know now.
He's a class player.
No, he is. There's a lot of diamond footballers out there. You just need good scouting, man. Good scouting, and you get these players in.
Yeah, and a bit of luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what?
I'll big up Drunk Vigo.
This is brilliant. This absolutely. This Everton Pius, he just says that we need 2 more. Right. That he's absolutely right, and this is what I say But Tommy, who would you like to see come in? We have to bring another one in.
I agree with Keith. I'd go for Amrabat. Amrabat and Decore, I'd go for.
Okay. Yeah.
Amrabat. I like Amrabat. It's funny though with Amrabat that you speak to some people. I was saying this to Tommy earlier that there's some people that don't rate Amrabat and don't like him, and then there's some people that think he's really good. And I ain't seen a lot of Amrabat. I watched him in the World Cup, and he was awesome. I've watched him a little bit for Fiorentina, and he's still the same kind of player he was in the World Cup. I remember the European final of West Ham. He was the best player on the pitch, without a shadow of a doubt. I like the way he can pick the ball off the centre backs and get the ball moving. Yeah. I do like the way he does that. He's got that ability to find space in that midfield. He's press resilient. He's got an engine on him. He's no business, and he's around that £27 million valuation.
Yeah.
And also, if we can nick him off Man United, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying about. If Jurgen Klopp spoke to it, there's only one club he's coming to.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, okay. We've got Steve Evans here.
All right, Steve.
Evening, lads.
Hi, Steve.
You all right?
I just asked the lads, I don't know whether you was listening to it. I just asked the lads, who would you like to see come in next? So I'm asking you, who would you like to see come in next?
I wouldn't mind the lad from Benfica, Luis.
Okay.
He's a beast.
And he's available.
If we can't get him, Decore. Amrabat, not half the bar, mate. He can go to United because he wants to go there, so just let him go there.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Because he's actually come out and said his own words, he's actually came out and said he Manchester United.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
If he wants, he can go.
Yeah, well, that's it. Then he's not coming here. He's not. There's no way he's coming here.
No,
we got to learn from our lessons.
But Keith, the lad you mentioned before from Leverkusen, he's got the same agent as Caicedo, so that's not going to happen.
Who's that? Sorry, mate.
The lad from Leverkusen, the centre half.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, Steve, is that you tweeted me earlier?
Yeah.
Ah, big up, man, big up. Yeah, you tweeted me that. You're right.
I told Frank, I spoke to Frank today. I told him the same thing. So.
With a lot
and the other lad we were after, Inacio, he signed a new 4-year contract with Sport.
Yeah, but this is the Liverpool thing. This is the Liverpool thing because he's got a new buyout clause, ain't it? This is so Liverpool. His buyout clause last week was 35. His buyout clause is now 60. Liverpool do the new buyout clause because that's what Liverpool do. That's a Liverpool thing to do. Go for the higher amount of money. He's a very good footballer. I'm actually surprised, not just Liverpool, that a lot of other European teams haven't looked at him, especially with his cheaper buyout clause last week. Good player.
Why do you think this is? They've seen what Liverpool have done. That Caicedo thing, it was farcical and Lavia, and they've seen what Liverpool were willing to offer, and this is why, Jamie, that they put up a £60 million clause in his contract. This is why, release clause that is. And I think it's wrong. I think the FA should step in and say, hang on a minute. Mind you, they're abroad, aren't they? So we can't really say anything to them.
The FA should step in on Chelsea. That's it. They should step in on.
Yeah.
I mean,
why haven't? Has anyone got any why they haven't?
Because
you have to go after City. They're going to go after City if you do that. They go after Everton. And no one's going to go after Man City.
Oh, they can go
It's
after
not going to happen. It's not going to happen, though, is it? It's not going to happen.
No.
City and Chelsea are just going to throw money at them, and they're just going to go, all right then, we'll keep it quiet.
FA are on their pay bill anyway.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Turan, Turan's a great player.
Well, I don't think, to be honest, I'm being truthful here. Everyone's going on about Thiago. Please just hear me out on this. This is why this could be a controversial show and whatever, but not a negative show in the sense, if you know what I mean. And this is what I'm going to say. We're all depending on now. Everybody said, even the Chelsea game, even before the Chelsea game, they'd like to see Thiago back playing, right? Batacic. And I said last week, there's no way, they're still in recovery. And they still are in recovery. They're not ready yet. Been out for months. They've been out for months. And my I don't know if it's a problem or concern. I just don't know. Is young Batacic, could he become another injury-prone player? Because he's been out for that long with this whatever injury it was. What do you think?
But all our players, going back the last 2 seasons, we just don't get ordinary injuries. No, there's nobody out for just 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They're out for 3 months and 4 months. Crazy.
Yeah.
I've got some breaking news. So Liverpool are apparently looking at a defensive midfielder that plays for Lyon, Maxime Coquot, something like that, if I can't pronounce it properly. But he's a French professional footballer who plays as a defensive midfielder for Lyon, apparently. And apparently Liverpool are looking at him. He's a defensive-minded midfielder. He's in his early 20s, young guy. That's just breaking at the moment. So I don't know much more on that right now.
Right.
Another player.
See, if this is right, Jamie, I'm honestly a pod. You've got to go on as pod. It's brilliant because he does break the news as it's coming through. and that's great. That, but you know, when you think that we'd be going after a fellow by the name of Joe Smith or anybody, because when we brought in Carlyle, we couldn't even pronounce his name. It's just
Yeah, you don't. What is it? I think with Sabozalai, you don't say the Zs, do you? The Z is not.
No.
Just call him Dom.
And Dom, yeah.
But so, you know, getting back to tomorrow, you know, we're playing first home game. Now, I was listening to Jamie today, as I said, and I've been going on about this for ages, to be honest. Even on the very first podcast that I did, I came out and said that the stand, I'm talking about the Anfield Road stand, the new one, would not be finished for the start of the season, where it was guaranteed that it would be finished. Because when I was looking at the work with these lads who do the drones, there was hardly any workers there. There was hardly any workers on the site. It was ridiculous. They had 3 lads doing the roof. 3 lads. 2 lads carrying big sheets, and 1 fella bringing us over to the fella who was actually put whatever they do to put them down. It was ridiculous. Then now I'd like to know who really booking them, because they were having problems down at Fulham apparently at the time we brought them in. Why just didn't we get a reliable firm? Why? Over to you, Jamie.
Not the cheapest.
I don't know. I'm not going. I don't know if I can blame the club for the building thing.
No,
I think they had. When Wembley was being built, didn't they? One of the companies going into administration as well, and had to change it over. That's why there was a delay in Wembley being built. Happens all the time. And you know, my front porch happens. You know, these things happen all the time. I don't even think there's that much work left. I don't actually think there's that much work left. I mean, before that, it was the tiling, then that got sorted, wasn't it? And I don't think there's much to go. So hopefully they can get someone in to finish it off. Fortunately, the bottom tier is open for the Bournemouth game. They council gave them permission to open the bottom tier, so that'd be good. Yeah, I believe Liverpool put out a saying today because the whole stand is meant to be open for the Villa game. That's what the thing is, ain't it? So they're letting people know for Villa tickets right now, because if people got tickets to that game, and if it's not, you know, they've got to make sure it's either ready for them, or if it's not, I don't know. It's just one of them things. I can't really have a go at the owners about this. It's out of their hands. This happens in building sites quite a lot. I've got family and friends who work in building sites, and sometimes they just get told they have to walk off site because so-and-so something's happened, and it's just the way it is sometimes. So, look, it looks like a nice stand. It looks like a good stand, so it looks like the job has been done well. Just get someone to finish it off now. This is the bit where the owners have got to go, right, let's just go and find someone now who can just finish the job off, come in, get this done, and let's get this open and have a brand new Anfield. And
well, if you remember when we were building the big stand, the main stand,
we had problems there as well.
They went bust, and we had to bring someone in to finish it off. And they've done the same again. They've done exactly the same again. And Jamie, there's a corner in Anfield Road end where the away fans are supposed to sit, and there's a big gap, and they haven't even filled that in yet. They've never filled it in. So there's going to be our fans who are going to miss out. And these are season ticket holders.
It's a shame. Hopefully they can do this quickly though and get this sorted like they did with the main stand, as you said. Are they putting safe standing into that that area as well? Yeah. So they've got to make sure all that's good as well. That's the thing as well. So if there's not much more to do, just get a new firm in. Get a new firm in, as we say, and just I'll go and finish it. I know what to do. Just call me.
Just get it done.
I'll get me and my lads down there, and we'll have this done overnight. Don't worry.
We'll get our visitors on.
Just get a load of Yossi.
Load of voices. Get over there, get that done.
Thanks, mate. See, Tommy's bringing the ginger nuts. It'll be all right.
I just had the packet that.
What do you think, Steve? What do you think about the stands and the shambles?
I told you, didn't I? I seen the video, and as you walk in, you can still see the Anfield Road. So, like, you actually walking over the Anfield Road, you can see. You go into the turnstile, you come through. Lower bit looks alright, but like the far end of the lower bit, you haven't even built the bars yet. Then you look above, and like there's only some seats in the centre at the top. The rest of it, there's no seat at all. I don't think it's going to be finished before Crimbo, personally.
There's a lot to do, unfortunately.
A lot of work, hell of a lot of work, mate.
But it can be done quickly.
Well, I've watched a TV show when they get a whole crew in and build a house in 24 hours. So that's DIY SOS in at Anfield. That's what you need.
Yeah, there we have it done in 2 minutes.
Be alright.
But anyway, it's a shame for people that pay tickets. It is a shame for people that got their tickets ready for them games, and hopefully the club can do right by them and reimburse them, make sure they get tickets for the future.
As Tommy said, he definitely went with the cheapest option. Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
So, what do you think of tomorrow? Who would you like to? I've got to ask this. As I said, you may have mentioned this. I don't know. Before, when I was running around doing everything to try and get on. And Jamie had me running it. Not you, Jamie, the producer, Jason. And he had me running around, so I was missing quite a lot, unfortunately. Have you picked your team for tomorrow, especially the midfield? Can I ask you? I won't go to you first, Jamie. I'll go to Keith. Midfield.
I'd go with the same 11 as last week. That started last week because I actually thought Elliott and Doak looked lively when they come on. Thought they looked good. So I'd start with the same 11 if it was me, Frank. So yeah, I thought being at home, make a difference as well. So that's what I'd go with. But I just let you know, Frank, I've got to go because.
No, I know that. No, I do know that, Jamie.
My dad's not been too well as well, so
I know.
if I could ask everyone just to keep my dad in the prayers as well.
Of course.
No worries.
My dad's a blue, unfortunately. I was born with brains. So,
someone has to be.
Yeah. So, if just keep in your prayers for us, and
don't worry. Just send them our best wishes.
I will.
Send them our best wishes.
Hopefully, I'll see you all next week. God bless.
Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will. With better news as well. With better news, Keith.
Yeah. Thanks very much, lads.
Well, that's why I asked Tommy to come on, to be honest, as a sub. And that's why I've asked our fellow here on below with Steve Evans. That's why I asked him to come on, because I knew that you had to go. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, lads. God bless.
See you later. Thank you.
Cheers, Keith.
Hello, mate.
He's a nice fella, Keith, but his dad is bad. He has been bad, and he keeps running to and fro. To be honest, and
hopefully he'll get better quick.
Yeah, of course. This is what it's all about. So listen, I don't think he wanted to mention his midfield, to be honest. So listen, Jamie, go ahead. Yeah, what's your midfield for tomorrow?
Oh, I've gone back and forwards on this all day, actually, talking to other people. Like, I can understand if he goes with the same midfield with Gakpo, McAllister and Szoboszlai. I was just thinking about if Curtis Jones was fit, I'd have Curtis Jones playing in this game. I'm actually going to say Harvey Elliott starts. We're at home to Bournemouth. We should be able to get the 3 points with the rest of the team that we got. we're going to have more of the possession of the ball, unlike the game against Chelsea, which Klopp was furious with in his press conference today about the possession that we gave away and didn't have. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think Gakpo is a tremendous footballer, but you want him in more advanced positions. When he sits in that midfield, he doesn't really defend in that midfield. He defends well in that forward line by keeping the ball and helping us press forward, getting further up the field. But in that midfield area, it's different because you got to follow your runners, and that's not his strength. I'd actually have Harvey Elliott, Szoboszlai, and McAllister. Probably have McAllister sitting at 6, Elliott on the right-hand side, Szoboszlai on the left-hand side, because Szoboszlai looked fantastic when he went left wing, by the way, as well. So I'd have that midfield 3, and then I'd actually have Darwin Núñez up front as well.
That's a good point you made there, Jamie, because not many people have said that. Me and Tommy mentioned it last week, but on the phone. He was just talking on the phone at half time, at full time and whatever. And it was about Szoboszlai going to the left, and he was good. He was good. And I'm glad you mentioned that, to be honest. I really am. Glad you mentioned that.
It's more of his natural position. I think Szoboszlai, that is where he probably will eventually play as a left winger. Yeah. But the problem is Liverpool got too many options at left wing right now, so he's going to be that. But yeah, I'd really go Harvey Elliott, McAllister in the 6, Szoboszlai on the left of them. And I'll go Darwin Núñez up front. I'll drop Jota for this game. I thought Jota was really poor against Chelsea. I'd get Gakpo as rest as well and have them on the bench for this game because we have got Newcastle the following week. So, I'd go Darwin. If Darwin's, he needs that confidence here, and I think he can get goals against Bournemouth. And then Diaz and Salah either side of him, that's just goals galore, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's a good show. So I'd just like to say to the people out there, will you please press the like button for me, please? Just press the like button, because I know that lots of you are out there now. And it'll be great if you did. Big thanks from me. I'm going over to Steve Evo. Who would your midfield be? And you might as well give your forwards as well, Steve, because Jamie came up with his forwards as well.
I'd have the same starting 11 as last week, bar Jota, who I thought was shit last week, mate.
Come on.
Especially when he took the ball off Szoboszlai's foot. I just thought that was... Do you know what?
That was... that was...
Either give him a shout or just stand back, because Szoboszlai probably would have hit a shot on target. Might have even scored.
Yeah.
I'd have Darwin playing tomorrow because I love the chaos that Darwin causes.
Yeah, Núñez is throughout the season, he will score goals. I know
he's going to get a bag full.
He'll go well into double figures.
Yeah, definitely.
So who's your 3 tomorrow forward then?
Salah, Núñez, Diaz.
Okay. Tommy?
He's just took all my glory. That's the team I would pick you.
Sorry, Tommy.
I'd drop Jota for Núñez and I'd keep the rest. Because the first half an hour of that day on Sunday, I thought we were going to murder Chelsea.
Yeah.
And as James said, we're at home against Bournemouth.
Yeah. I really believe, I don't know, I think he'll keep the same team. I think he will keep the same team, and I think he'll keep Núñez on the bench.
Surely Jota can't have a better game than what he did last time.
No.
Yeah, Jota's a weird one.
What about Robbo? Now, Robbo's been a concern for me for 18 months because he hasn't been the same player as he was a couple of years ago, put it that way, a couple of years ago. Steve?
I've had this conversation with you on the phone, Frank. I think he's burnt out.
Yeah.
He's played a hell of a lot of games for us, played a lot of games for Scotland. The lad, he doesn't give up. He bombs up and down that pitch all the time, 100% committed. And I think he needs to slow down a little bit. If that means dropping him for like a game or two, bringing the Greek Scouts lad in, fair play.
Yeah. What do you think, son?
Yeah, I mean, well, we spoke about this before, Frank. I mean, well, I was surprised. No, that change, what nobody could match for 3 or 4 seasons. There's no way we could keep that up. And it goes with Robbo. There's no way he could keep them performances up. And it's starting to show now, I think. I'm not slagging him off, by the way. But I
No.
agree with Steve. He deserves a rest. But we've got the Greek lad there, Tsimikas. He can do that job on the left. And just give him a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie.
Robbo's like a Ferrari, but with little tyres. That's what it's like. It works or it doesn't work with Robbo. And look, he's getting older. It's natural. He ain't going to be able to do what he used to be able to do continuously, that high energy. His game is all high energy. So when he hasn't got that game going on, his level looks like it's gone from there to there. Where in fact it's not dropped that much. It's just that so I remember Mourinho coming out with a great comment about Jose Mourinho coming out with a great comment about Robbo when he said he used to watch him doing 100-yard dash for 90 minutes and Mourinho was exhausted watching him.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how Robbo kept going, and he was like not even breathing hard at the end of a game. That's when he's 26, 25. He's pushing 30 now, and it does get harder, especially when you've got that many miles on the clock. You can. There's that saying you can be an old 30. In fighting terms, when you've got a fighter who's 30 years old, but they've had wars, and they're like an old 30. That can be the same in footballers when they got that miles on the clock. It happened to Fabinho. Fabinho is apparently 29, but he was an old 29-year-old because he had so many miles on the clock. And I think it's a bit like Robbo. Robbo will have great games still. Robbo's got to adapt his game like Mo Salah has. Yeah, Mo Salah's completely adapted his game now. He's the complete footballer. Mo Salah's not as quick as he was when he first came to Liverpool. But what he's done, he's adapted his game so he can play till he's 36 and play exactly the same way he's playing now. Where I think Robbo's got to learn to adapt his game. And if Robbo can
don't forget, Robbo is playing. No, he hasn't got a good midfield at the moment.
No,
and that makes
that
makes him stand out on the left because there's nobody in the midfield who's protecting him.
No, the man's going in dry. That's what's happening.
What do you mean by Jamie? What do you mean that he'll have to change his play, his game plan? What do you mean?
I think the Robbo of old, where he just used to maraud from one box to the other box for 90 minutes, he's not going to work as he gets older with the miles on his clock because his body will break down quicker. He won't be able to recover as quickly after injuries either. You're seeing that lately as well. When you did pick up knocks last season, the recovery time took longer. And for him to be a quality left back still, I think he's going to have to time how he runs, how he moves. He's going to maybe have to adapt the way he runs. All that sort of thing is like Mo. Mo only sprints now when he needs to. When Mo used to, but like if you go and follow Mo Salah's career when he was younger and when he first came to Liverpool, Mo never walked. He just sprinted every time, all the time. And then he realized you only like Messi. How many times do you see Messi walking around the pitch? But then when he's got the ball, bang, he's on it. Yeah, because it's and that's why he's still playing now into his mid-30s and still looking quality. And I think that's what Robbo's got to do because Robbo's still a very good footballer. He hasn't lost his intelligence. He hasn't lost his ability. What he's done, he's lost a little bit of his that stamina, that high octane presence that he used to have. He'll have it occasional in games because it'll still be there, but he's never going to be the Robbo he was when he was 25, 26 when he first at the club. It's just natural. So he'll have to adapt his game, and if he adapts his game, Robbo can still be a quality left back, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because there's no one there really on the market, is there? But he will have to change his game. That's the point. That is the point. He'll have to change the game because, as you said, Jamie, he's not like a mid-20s lad now. Up and down from one box to the other. But anyway, let's move on to the middle. What do you think tomorrow? Do you think we're going to be okay tomorrow? The middle, because them balls last week, This is why we brought this lad in, Endo, to stop those balls going through the middle like they were against us for Chelsea. That was shocking, and that's where Robertson was exposed constantly right through the game. Anyway,
I think Bournemouth are going to try and expose Trent's side tomorrow, and not Robbo's side, because I think Billings is going to try and sit in Trent's area of the pitch. If we go back to when we lost to him in March, Billings had a great game against us, if I remember rightly, and he got in them areas of the pitch where Trent was left a little bit exposed because he was coming as that inside area where he was sitting to midfield, going inverted. I think that's where we got troubles. I think we spoke this earlier with Trent. Trent's a tremendous talent. There's no doubt about that. Going forward as a right back, there's hardly anyone better. I've already said it. If you go and put him in midfield, how many midfielders are better than Trent Alexander-Arnold in the world? Not many.
Not many.
And you know, with that talent, he's got to be in that position. But if you're playing him at right back, unlike with Robbo's got that defensive switch in his mind where he knows, right, I need to go back 5 yards here because that ball over the top is on. I've got to cut that out. That's not really in Trent's mindset. Trent's mindset is like, I've got to get into a position that can affect the attacking side of the team. I can get that ball to Salah real quick and we can get a goal from it. And that works a lot of the time. But he's been exposed in that area for a while now. But it's not just to him. It's the midfield in front of him not giving him protection and not, getting tight enough, not winning the ball back quick enough, not keeping the ball as well. It's really important for Liverpool. So I think that's how Bournemouth really threaten Liverpool tomorrow. I think that ball over the top will still be on for Bournemouth tomorrow because, I don't think Endo's been signed in time to be registered tomorrow. Not quite sure yet. So I wouldn't expect him to start anyway. So I think McAllister sits in that sixth position again. But I think that's the only way Bournemouth score tomorrow. That ball over the top on Trent's side. I think Robbo will be all right tomorrow, actually, because I think Billings is going to play and try and expose Trent in them areas of the pitch in the final third. But that'd be the only way they get, in my opinion.
well, okay. Do you know what you just said there? Do you think Liverpool will be different, totally different? What you saying, Jamie, that McAllister will play the number 6? Again, he's not playing in his rightful position. Neither is Sobersley. He's not playing in his position either. So with this number 6 coming in, do you think you'll see an entirely different system?
Yeah. I think Klopp's desperate to go back to his old 4-3-3, but he wants to play it differently. He wants to play a high possession. That's why he's gone and bought players like McAllister and Szoboszlai. Because he wants to play a more possession-based, technical way of playing than he has played before. But he wants to play it in a 4-3-3. He wants Trent to get on that ball as much as he can. He wants Robbo to get on that ball as much as he can. But unfortunately, he can't at the moment, and he's had to tweak it because we haven't got that defensive midfielder. He couldn't trust Fabinho and Henderson last season, is why he made Trent inverted. And he's desperate for it. And if Endo does work out, like the difference between a good defensive midfielder and not heavy one is, look at Chelsea's equaliser against us. McAllister didn't follow the runner, and that brought their goal. It's not McAllister's fault. He just hasn't got that in his makeup because he's not a defensive-minded midfielder. Endo is. He would realise the danger there and find the danger and cut the danger out. And that, because of that, that allows you then to get Robbo and Trent back in the forward areas of the pitch nice and wide, and it helped the team out in this whole position, in this DM position. I keep saying it. It's the most important position in football right now, in my opinion. Yeah. You look at all the best teams in the world, they've got that solid defensive midfielder where they just look at Rodri. Rodri's probably the best in the world. Without Rodri, Man City are nowhere near as good, in my opinion. If Rodri got a massive injury like De Bruyne has just got now for 4 months, for me, City are in trouble because they wouldn't be able to do what they're doing going forward without Rodri sitting there. And that's the difference, man. That's the difference.
Well, I was trying to ask you today, and I couldn't. Just typing away, as you do, with my thumb on my iPhone. And I was going to say to you, just imagine if we had Mascherano in that team, in this team today, what a number 6 he was. He was the best in He was unbelievable. Only a little fella, but bags of energy, bags of spirit, and iron. He was an iron man. I thought he was absolutely amazing. And Anfield Ross says, Maxence.
That's the player.
Yeah.
That's the player apparently Liverpool are linked with today. He's from Lyon. He's a defensive midfielder. I'm not going to lie. I've never heard of him.
No, it's like Endo, isn't it? No one has ever heard of him either.
But Endo is very Mascherano-like. That's a good.
Yeah, believe so.
They're quite like that, and I mean that's all we need, man. That's all we need.
That's all it needs. What do you think, Steve? What do you think, mate? Here's a good one here. Listen to this, and it's from Tafsir. I blame Klopp for Batatic's injury. Played him till he broke. What do you think?
No, not at all.
Okay. What do you think, Jamie?
I don't think you can blame him. I don't think he. Like, the thing is, it's the way we play football. It's so high intense that some of these players pick up injuries. And look, a lot of our injuries are training-based injuries as well. That always worries me a little bit. A lot of these players get their injuries in training. I'm like, what are we bloody doing? Are we just going 12 rounds in training? What are we doing? We're having cage fights. It's like, I think, but they train. I think what Klopp always tries to do, he tries to train like they play on the weekend. That's how he wants it. So the intensity from training goes onto the actual match pitch, and he tries to keep that intensity. I think we just need better physios and doctors at the football club and better people in that, better science and all that in the football club just to stop these injuries, in my opinion. I mean, Stefan didn't really play that much to get broken by Jurgen. A big up to Sia. But I don't think he played enough. But I've said it before, players have got to look after themselves as well. Sometimes injuries are down to the players as well. The best players in the world don't always have these massive injuries and they play forever. Messi and Ronaldo, do they ever get subbed? Does Salah ever get Salah always plays. The best players look after themselves. Stefan's a young lad as well. When you're 18, 19, you're still growing. Injuries can sometimes be a lot worse than they really should be because your body's still growing because you're young. So with Stefan, I hope that's all it is and he comes back stronger and he'd be absolutely fine. But I think it's more of a thing, Frank, really, for the backroom staff to start figuring out on, because an injury on the pitch, if you collide knees and stuff like that, contact injuries, that happens in the game. Can't help it. But it's the training injuries, Tommy, ain't it, mate?
We've been
but the thing is with Stefan, the way he plays, his game, he's going to get injuries.
Yeah, he gets stuck in, doesn't
he? He gets stuck in.
Mm.
And hopefully, as he'll grow stronger and he'll learn that way. But the way he plays, he's always going to get an injury.
Mm.
He is. Yeah, as Reynolds says, big flanking guys, how do you think we will line up tomorrow? And we've just been going through that, really, haven't we?
Yeah, same back four.
But do you know what? Tommy and Jamie? Look at our back four. Just look at it. Just look at it. And you was going on about Jamie, about Trent being the finest, one of the finest right backs. And I agree with you. I entirely agree with you. And yet we've got the two of the finest centre backs. That's in Big Ibu and Veg. And yet, we're looking goals. So it stems from the midfield.
Yep, that's exactly what Jamie said before. Last year you were exposed. You got the best central defenders in the world.
Yeah,
your midfield exposes them. There's no one there to protect them. And then you see the frailties what they have.
Yeah. I didn't know that he's mentioned that. I'm sorry, go on, Jamie.
No, it's with any defender. It don't matter who you are. Virgil's obviously a world-class defender, and Kanate is on his way to being that. But if you've literally got these attackers in this day and age that are quick, skillful, energetic, never stop, got great stamina, keep running at you constantly, eventually the walls go crumble. It don't matter how well you built that wall. So, it's going to happen all the time. Liverpool get a better midfield in front of that defence, and then defenders are as good as they are in a way. So, like we've already said, in the Chelsea game, there's not Canate and Van Dijk had a good game, in my opinion. It was just it's the system at the moment that's letting them down because we haven't got the midfield. Once the midfield's back and the system operates better, they will defend better. But we only defend like this because it's Canate and Virgil van Dijk. That's the way that's why we play like this. If it was Nat Phillips and Joe Gomez, we would never play with a high line. We wouldn't play with this risk. It is because it's Virgil van Dijk. And I've always said for the last few years, it just shows when people talk about defenders in the Premier League, and they always have a go at Virgil because he hasn't got that consistency. But I always say, like, you ask John Terry, who they all say is the greatest Premier League defender ever and all this nonsense, yeah? You tell him to play like Virgil does. Terry will get exposed all the time because he hasn't got the athleticism and pace and skill that Virgil van Dijk has got. That's why we play like this, because of Canate and Virgil. But if you get a better midfield in front of them that gives them better protection, as a team, we're going to be far better. We're always going to have that little bit of risk. It's always going to be in our game under Jurgen Klopp, no matter who we have as players, because that's the way Klopp wants to play. So there's always going to have heart attack moments. We're always going to have it. But that's the reward that he looks for, because he thinks the way playing that way with that skill set of players that we have will give us more reward. And he ain't really been wrong about it. Look, no team's pushed Man City like Liverpool in the last 5 years. They just haven't.
Yeah.
Arsenal fell 10 points behind at the end of the season. We won the Premier League, won the Champions League. I literally think if you talk to Pep Guardiola today, he'd still be worried about Liverpool more than anyone else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
If Liverpool get it right and it goes right, I still think Liverpool were the team to push City the most. I think Arsenal are very improved, really improved. But you could just we've got the players. It's just a system at the moment, in my opinion, Frank. Once that system's sorted, I think we'll be all right.
No, that's why we got this Enzo lads, and this is why we wanted Casido, and this is why we wanted the other fella, Lavia. This is why we wanted them to just plug that big, massive gap. So they've got this lad in. I believe he's a little tank. I believe he's got the energy of Mo Salah, which we need. He's got the legs. He runs for 90 minutes or more, and he's there.
Yeah.
I think he was brought in as well, not just for that, for the market, the Japanese market, because the Japanese market loved tacky. They loved tacky, and it just went mad with the shirts. Now they've got the Japanese captain. You can imagine the market there now for Liverpool Football Club. It'll be, well, not for us, it'll be for them.
But as Jamie said before, Frank, when you seen Jurgen Klopp at his press conference today, have you ever seen him that excited? He was buzzing.
Yeah.
He was buzzing.
Yeah, he was. So, Jamie, do you think that it's his buy and no one else's, not George Schmacker's?
No.
Yeah, well, I can only go by what Klopp was talking in the press conference, and how he was talking about Endo, and he basically said, like, as obviously he's German and he watches the German football all the time, as he says, because that is his country. So he's always watching the game. And he says he's watched Endo for years and he's always really liked him, and he's always wanted to bring him to Liverpool. And he had a little like thing where he said, "We've always wanted to bring him, but the owners didn't like the age," or something like that. He said in his press conference today, where he is that little bit older. I think the thing is, we've never needed to buy him because we did have Fabinho. So there was no need for us to go and get him. This is why I think Casado weren't interested. I literally think Klopp has been wanting Endo. I think this is his buy. He told George, let's go and get this guy. He's available. Let's bring him in. I think he can do things for us. So, yeah, I do think this is a Klopp buy. And I've been saying it as well. Klopp's been at the club long enough now. I think sometimes you just got to go and trust the manager. He's been here for 8 years almost. If he wants these players now, just go and get him them players. don't matter who they are. If he wanted Endo, George Schmack went and got him Endo. So, yeah, if their players Klopp wants, I think it's time to just put a bit of faith and trust in who he wants. And if it don't work out, then there's one guy to blame and all that. So that's the way I think it works right now.
That's great. That's it. That's it.
I agree
What
with
do you
that.
think, John?
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Totally agree.
Well, anyway, you know, as Captain Cell says, hopefully Edison is a young 30 going on 20. What you've got to look at as well with the age, all right, everyone was moaning. I'm not saying everyone, but people were moaning about the age because we're always bringing in young people. I think he'd be like a Salah because Salah's 30, isn't he? 29, 30. Yeah. And he can run whatever. And there's another 2 or 3 years for Salah, but I think he'll go next season to the Saudis. I really believe that. I really believe that.
I can understand why Salah would probably want to go there eventually because he'd be the king out there, won't he? So I get it. It probably will happen. But
it could be acceptable if we've got someone to take his place.
Yeah, and Liverpool apparently looking. If you read online, apparently Liverpool are looking for a right winger for a Salah replacement in the years to come. So
yeah,
I think Liverpool are aware of the situation. I will say that.
Yeah.
Big up everyone asking if I got Facebook in the chat. I haven't got Facebook. I don't. I just got Twitter, man. Just catch me on Twitter.
Yeah. That's why I'd like the people to who are on Facebook to go onto YouTube because it puts the algorithm up there. That's the sad thing, that people watch me on Facebook. Well, it's not sad, they just catch the show on Facebook, but it'll be great if they went on YouTube because the algorithm will get up there. Francine Carlyle, when we played every game the other season, most players, Hendo, Fab, Robbo, legs have gone.
Yep. And when your legs are gone into Hendo and Fab, that's the reason we conceded so many chances. They're our main defensive midfielders.
So, okay.
Is that your daughter, Frank, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
She does come out with some good points.
She does, actually.
I'll leave her alone.
Should have heard her last night. I suggested going over, next year to meet our Greek supporters, for a few days because they're always coming over there. And I said, we'll go to Athens, this little group. Said, that'll be great. Francine was right there, wasn't she, Tommy?
Oh, what?
Buying her summer clothes and everything.
Getting it done already.
Exactly. That's great. But you know what? I think it's a very good point that you picked up there, Jamie, to be honest. But I just look at this gap. Would you say, like, Endo, for example, the new Endo, I don't mean Henderson who's gone, we don't talk about him anymore. If he has a work permit and if he could play tomorrow, would you play him? Or is that a difficult one?
I'd definitely bring him off the bench.
I think I don't know if he'd start, but I think he would come on. I think he would come on. I think Klopp would want him to start against Newcastle, though.
That's it. That's what I was going to say.
I think he'll want him ready for the Newcastle game because that would be the one. Yeah, I think he'd want him ready for Newcastle. Because I don't know about his work, but it had to be done by 12:30 p.m. today, weren't it? So I'm not sure if it got done in time. If it's done in time, great. He can be part of the squad. He can be off the bench. That'd be great. Get a big cheer at Anfield. I'd love that. Let's have him ready for Newcastle. Let's just have Let's get him ready for Newcastle. Let's get him fit. He's had pre-season in Germany, so that shouldn't be a problem. So his fitness level should be good. The one thing about Endo as well, he hasn't actually played that many hours of football in the last few years compared to the likes of Fabinho and stuff like that. So although he's 30, he's actually quite a young 30, physically. So this could be a shrewd good bit of business. This guy's really good.
I think we've got a rough time in there.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's going to be a fan favourite. I think he's going to be a fan favourite as well.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, Anfield Road, we need to defend about 10 minutes better than we did last week as a unit. That's a cracking point. That's a cracking point. We need to defend 10 times better than last week as a unit.
We defend too much like individuals. That's the problem.
We do that. Obviously, we know we've got to do that. But with us, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's something not quite right in the system at the moment. Once the system gets sorted out, it'll be the one thing I will say. Luis Diaz, I've noticed this lately. Since his knee injury, Luis Diaz don't go and help his fullback out like he used to. He did leave Robbo quite exposed against Chelsea at times. I don't blame him. The knee injury was a bad one. He was out for 7 months. It's a psychological thing, a bit like a Virgil, psychological. I think Salah and Diaz have got to just do a little bit better going the other way at times and just making sure their fullbacks don't get isolated. You know, I don't expect Diaz to be like Sadio Mane. No one does. Just go back sometimes. And same with Mo, you know, they're sometimes just waiting for the ball to get to them so they can do that counter-attack. But yeah, I think the whole team as a unit, the team as a unit defend better with the players we got. There's no reason we should be giving up chances like we are. It's as simple as that.
Well, I think you see a different performance tomorrow.
Harry Wood sent in this. I think it was mentioned on your pod today, Jamie. Apparently, they are looking at Bayer Leverkusen centre-back, Hinshapi.
Yeah, but apparently he's got the same agent as Casado, though.
Oh.
So if he has got the same agent as Casado, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
There's no way Klopp's dealing with him again.
No, absolutely. Do you think that tomorrow, boys, that Bournemouth will park the bus?
No.
I
think Bournemouth will play.
We've got side Bournemouth, Frank.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth will do it in stages. There will be times in the game where Liverpool go have a lot of possession. They're at home and they go to be on the front foot, and it's going to put Bournemouth back.
Yeah.
But I think we're still very acceptable to the ball over the top, and Bournemouth will look for that in their counter attacks.
What we don't want is them to score first. If they score first, I can see them just blocking it up.
Yeah,
well, I said on your pod last week, if we can control, I'm talking about the Chelsea game, if we can control their long ball, we control the game. And we did for the first 20 minutes. We controlled it. And then something.
Oh, if Salah's goal counted, I still can't believe they drew the lines from Salah's hand for that offside goal, which is just mad. If Salah's goal counted, I think we win that game 4-0.
Oh, yeah.
We were just all over it. They didn't know what to do at the time. And this is the thing. Our attack is quality. I've got no problem with our attack. What it is for us, though, is getting the ball to our attackers. In that second half against Chelsea, I don't think we had a shot. That's the issue. We got to get the ball to our attackers. So when we've got the ball, we got to keep the ball better. We got to use the ball better in areas of the pitch and be brave. Don't always
what we do with the ball. What we do with the ball, and all when we're in possession. Some of our final passing is just absolutely not on the board.
Yeah, they just got to be brave with it as well. Sometimes that pass won't make it. Yeah, sometimes not every pass is going to be accurate, but it's the intent you're putting on it. Now, if you're looking and you're looking for that difficult pass, but you know it's a gamble, if it gets cut out, you could be in trouble. But Klopp would rather see that than you just playing a little 2-yard side pass, really slow. Yeah. That's what we need to do a bit more of.
Yeah,
a bit more courage in the midfield.
That's what we need, isn't it, boys? A little bit more. I don't know, solidness.
I think we'll win convincingly tomorrow. By the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, the final. We'll have to finish. I'm sorry that I was only on for a short while, boys, and thank you so much again for carrying on and keep it going, and these wonderful people. And finish, can you just press the like button because there's loads listening in. Anyway, Jamie, prediction tomorrow?
4-0. I think we go eat tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna say. I think we go eat tomorrow. I think Salah scores. I think Salah's going to be hungry for goals. He's going to be annoyed he didn't get on the opening day of the season. Yeah, I think Salah's going to score. I think we're going to be really good tomorrow. I think the team are going to be up for it. They got the new signing through the door. It's the first game at home for the season. I think they're going to be buzzing, and I think Bournemouth are just in. Bournemouth are going to play. I don't think Bournemouth are going to play badly at all either. I just think we're going to have too much firepower for the lower teams in this league. Personally,
I'd love the people on here to give their particular score lines. Francis says Chelsea have spent 945 million in 12 months. There's something wrong. Definitely something wrong there.
And the contracts they're giving, and it's just they know. The thing is, Chelsea know it's dodgy. They can just get away with it because
that's it.
It's the fine going to be 945 million. I doubt it. The fine's probably going to be like 800 grand or something like that. And Chelsea get
crazy. What the fine should be is double your transfer. Whenever you transfer, the fine will be double that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm Tickle says 6-0 Salah, 3 Nunes, Diaz, the big veg. The big veg.
Yeah,
I think 3-0.
3-0 to us.
I think 3-0.
Where's he gone? Don't know where he went there. Oh, yeah. I'm going with 3-0 Liverpool.
Yeah. Let's face it, 3 points is what we want.
Yeah, if you go, look, me and Tommy spoke about this earlier, the point away to Chelsea, look at it on that, good result.
Yeah, the one.
You beat Bournemouth at home. It's 4 points in your first 2 games.
Yeah.
Not bad if you ask me. Fine.
Yeah.
Well, Anfield Ross says, 2-0. Anyway, that's what he says. Salah and Diaz. But Darryl Berry says 26. 26.
You got to remember, Bournemouth will remember that 9-0 hiding this time last year as well. And he might be a bit wary of that as well.
Yeah.
And our lovely Valley S from Ohio says, I've missed my call.
Hey, Valley.
Footballer. Anyway, but as Jay Kismet says, main thing is 3 points.
I do want to see a performance, though. That is true, but I do want a performance.
Yeah, we do need a performance. It's no use going out and just scraping a 1-0 win. It's not like scraping a 1-0 win like at the end of the season where we need that 1-0 win, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the West Brom game. Remember the West Brom game when Big Ali came up and scored the header?
Yeah. It's about results at the end. At the end of the season, it's about results. Right now, it's about performances and results.
Yeah, we totally need a good performance tomorrow.
So do you think, Jamie and Tommy, that performances from now on count rather than the scores?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, look, if we scrape a 1-0 win against Bournemouth and we're not that good, there's still going to be a lot of questions asked. If we beat Bournemouth 2-0, but it's an outstanding performance and it's a super controlled game where we control. Like Man City, like they say, Man City beat teams up winning 2-0. And what they mean by that is that, it's only a 2-0 scoreline, but they control the whole match for 90 minutes. The opposition don't get a kick. If you have that sort of performance, you win 2-0. You're like, right, I can see something now. I can see there's a change in the way we play. That was a great performance, good result. But if it's a scrapey 1-0 win at home at Bournemouth, unfortunately, we're going to still have questions about the team, and that's not what I want. I just want the game to be finished at 5 o'clock, and we're like, what a performance, great win, 2 good results in the opening day of the season, so let's move. That's all you want.
Well, I think Lee Wizkids, he's taking it from me. Not just points. A few wins will steady the team's nerves. Absolutely. I think that's
we've got Newcastle next weekend. If we can beat Bournemouth and beat Newcastle with that draw against Chelsea, it's a fantastic.
It'd be unbelievable that if we could manage that.
It's a great start of the season.
Well, anyway, I think people are wanting to go to bed or something. As Anfield Ross says, great show tonight. Well done, Jamie, Tommy, for standing in for Frank. Technical issues.
We enjoyed it, didn't we, mate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I made up. As I said, I put it on my telly. I was on the big screen.
Oh, Frank was just kicking back. He was like, "No, Jamie can cover this."
I was. And then Jason phoned me and he says, "I can get you on." So I said, "Okay." He said everything. It's been the atmospheric things, right? Like where I live, right over ahead. I think they were them alien things, you know.
Yeah, next door was laughing. They're like, "We ain't got this weather. What's going on?"
Yeah, when you all right down in London, the big smoke. But
yeah,
anyway,
we were all right, Dave. Nice and sunny.
It's been nice to meet you, Jamie, tonight.
Yeah, and you, Tommy, man, and you.
Yeah, great.
This is a cracker. Jamie Redburn D9. Jamie, I'm loving your new channel. Brilliant, absolutely. But listen, lads, I've got to say thank you so much, you know, because you made the night, you made everybody happy here, and you had great points, great comments as well from all the people. And I was sorry that I missed so much of it. And
we're just like two fans talking between each other. That's it.
No, of course, because I know Jamie can talk, and I know that you can talk, Tommy. And Valley at Red Bears after seeing Carlyle at Anfield Road. It's been a fabulous to share this evening with you. Here's to a win tomorrow. And that's very nice.
Yeah.
Jamie, thank you.
No worries, my man. Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, Frank. Always a pleasure. I'll see you again, Jamie.
Yeah, and you, Tommy. I'll get you back on.
No problem.
On here. I'll probably be back on here next week. Well, Frank.
Oh, brilliant. Do you know what, Jamie? We won't have any more issues, honestly. We won't have any more issues.
Don't worry about that.
Thank you so much, Jamie. And I'll be looking forward to your pod tomorrow.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm doing a watch along tomorrow. So
no, I know you are. Yeah, I know you are.
Frank, don't forget to press the end button this time, and don't leave your show on live where we all left.
No, I won't.
Bye to your daughter as well.
Was the explicit, Jamie?
No, you know, the other day you was doing the show and you finished your show, but you left it on live, didn't you? Yeah. And I messaged you on Twitter, didn't I? And
yeah, you did. See, it's Jason. He does all the producing and then he switches everything. I'm useless. I'm like a chocolate pie. Jason. Anyway, thank you, Jamie. I love you.
No worries, my man. Big up to the channel. Everyone, make sure to go and like and subscribe. Do all the good things. Share Frank's channel out. Let him, more people find him. Go for it, guys. Much love.
Thank you. Right,
I'm out of here. See you later, Frank.
See you later, mate. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I really, Jamie Phillips, you know, what can you say about that man? Absolutely just a great fella, and you people up there, and thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that you've done, you know, because I was panicking there. I really was. And hope to see you all next week. Thank you so much. Thank you.